What does it mean to be in violent agreement? Welcome back. I'm Paul Erickson, and this is BYO Coach, a channel dedicated to helping you become a more effective leader. I recently wrote an article, Why Do Meetings Suck? There's a link to the article below. In this article, I used the term violent agreement, and I got an awful lot of email and some comments. What do you mean by violent agreement? By the way, if there's something you saw in an article and you'd like more information about it, or if there's another topic you'd like to know about, let us know in the comments below, and we'll see if we can work up some content in that. In today's quick tip, we're going to talk about violent agreement. Have you ever been in a meeting before and you've watched two of the participants really kind of go at something pretty passionately, and they seem to be arguing the same point, they just don't realize that? This is one of those things where I call violent agreement. You want the same thing, but you're so invested in your point of view that you're missing and talking past one another and not understanding what the other participant is saying. Sometimes you want the same outcome, but for different reasons. You might want to add a feature to your application that really helps the developers move faster. But another person wants that same feature, but they want it on the pretense that it's better for customer value and it helps our customers. At the end of the day, what you're really asking for is the exact same thing. Anytime a developer can go faster, it adds value more frequently to the customer. So you really want the same solution, you just don't realize that you're asking for different reasons. Another way that this can sometimes happen is you actually both want the same thing and you have the same reasons. It's just that you're so invested, or maybe you have this perspective that my ideas are better than others, and you don't take the time to realize the same points that the other person is making are the points you're making. And you're again in this violent agreement. I recently had a discussion with one of my teammates, and I had mentioned that, hey, this problem looks very much like the snapshot and transaction scenario. And he quickly responded and said, no, it's not that. What it is they send us a full set of data every month, and then every day they give us the updates. What he didn't really realize is that we were saying the exact same thing. What I meant by transaction was the updates, the things that have changed since the prior situation. And the snapshot is, here's our reconciliation. This is a one-time look at the view of the world. That's what we want. And I let this argument go in that conversation, and then later on I explained to him how I meant the same thing through definition. And the reason that I came back and I did bring the issue back to this person was just so that we'd become closer together on the vocabulary. Right? That idea that I needed to win isn't the rationale for the discussion. The rationale for the discussion is, can we avoid this in the future? Right? These are oftentimes fun meetings, a little bit uncomfortable, right? You see these two people that are going at one another almost like combatants. If you're witnessing this in a meeting, it's important that you stand up and kind of calm things down and help people understand that, hey, you're both looking for the same thing, and help them recognize where this is. Okay? What I really want to discuss today is the idea that this is a very, very solvable problem, and it comes down to usually a very simple solution. We need to listen better. So oftentimes, we want to get our story out there so quickly that we're not really listening to the rest of the conversation. We're hearing what's going on, and we're listening for the opportunity to state our side of the situation, but we're really not listening to the content of what's coming towards us. And that's really what our failure is in most of these situations. We're not taking the time to listen and to really understand what the point of view that the other person is saying. So if you're a participant in this situation, I want to just encourage you to say, be a better listener. Understand how what the other person is saying could actually be the same argument that you have. And that's not really what you're listening for, but you're listening to make sure that, hey, wait, yeah, we're in agreement here, right? We don't have any problems. Sometimes when I hear something that I think sounds fishy to me, I'll immediately come back with a question, what do you mean by X, right? I want to have that person explain to me what they meant in a certain scenario, just to make sure that I didn't take the wrong interpretation or that my definition was different than their definition. And I think that's an important element that we want to take more often, is really being curious and trying to get the other person's point of view. And this really helps in two ways. Number one, it shows that you are listening. And number two, it helps people understand that you're still a learner and you should always be a learner, right? So wait, hey, educate me. Help me understand what your point of view is. And that helps the people on your team. They feel more invested in what it is that the team is doing and that they're a decision maker and an active participant in the process. For more tips on how to have an effective meeting, better yet, things not to do so that your meetings are more effective, please check out the article below. I've left a link in the description. If you found this article useful or interesting or think that somebody in your circle might find value from it, please share it and go ahead and hit the like button. Please consider subscribing, and when you subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. That bell is what's going to notify you every time we upload new content. And let us know what you want to hear about in this channel. That's really what the goal of this channel is to help you become a more effective leader. You may want to consider looking at this video. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in the next video.